Hello, good morning. Nice to see you today. Today we've got a full body workout routine planned. It is one of the first Pilates sessions I've done in about a week. I was on vacation, so it's great to be back, and it's going to feel really good to move our bodies together this morning or whatever time you're tuning in today. So like I said, no equipment needed. We're gonna strengthen our arms, tone and target the abs, and we're gonna do quite a bit of glute work as well. So let's go ahead and get started with a warm up. We're going to start down on the mat in an all fours position. And we're just gonna really take the time to wake up the spine here. So I'm going to plant the wrists below the shoulders, knees are below the hips. We're just gonna arch the spine, rolling the shoulders down away from the ears. Gaze comes slightly up, and then we're going to round the spine, pushing mat away, dropping the crown of the head, and separating the vertebra. Inhale, drop the belly, arch the spine, and exhale, push the mat away, creating space between each of the vertebrae. Inhale, drop the belly, roll those shoulders down and back. And exhale, scoop belly in, round. Really relax the head down here so you can stretch the neck as you do that as well. Good, take a couple more of these at your own pace, on the breath. Really enjoying the movement and getting into that Pilates breathing of in through the nose and out through the mouth. Good, last one. I'm gonna arch and then let the spine come into neutral. Come to the top of your mat if you're not already there. We're gonna curl our toes, really plant palms down into the floor, and then shoot the hips up, coming into a downward dog. Now you can have your knees as bent as you need them to be here. In order to get a lot of lift in those hips, we want to be really aiming for a flat upper back. Head hangs between the shoulders. From here, we're going to lift ourselves up high on our tippy toes, and then we're going to lower the heels down as close as they can come toward the mat. So lift the heels and lower. Again, if you need to add a bend in the knees, please do so. Really focusing on that back being nice and flat as you lift the heels up and lower them down. Lift and lower, stretching out the backs of the legs. Keep those hips elevated. Good. We've got 3, 2, last one, and then bring those heels into a neutral position. We're gonna lift the right leg up, stretching and lengthening, and then bring right knee in toward the chest. Send the right leg up and back, stretch and lengthen, and then bring right knee in toward the chest. Hold for a split second, and then bring it back. We've got 2 more. Inhale to lift and lengthen. Last one, we're gonna come forward and hold. Make sure you're holding here with your wrists below your shoulders. Scoop belly in. Hold for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, and for 1. Lower foot down to the floor into your plank and shoot the hips back up into your downward dog. We're gonna do the same thing on the left side. So really get that nice lift through the hips, then lift and lengthen the left leg. Toes are pointed, come forward, wrists below shoulders, and then repeat. When you're holding with the knee in toward the chest, make sure the abs are engaged. Good, 2 more. Stretch and bring it in. Last one, lengthen and bring it in. We'll hold for 5, for 4, abs in for 3, and 2, and 1. Step foot back so you're into a plank. And then from here, we're gonna lower the knees down to the mat and stretch back into child's pose. Really stretch and lengthen through the spine here. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Good. Come forward. Wrists below the shoulders, knees below the hips. From here, we're going to inhale. We're to lower the chest down between the hands and exhale to push up. So we're inhaling to lower, creating a nice flat back, and exhale to lift. So lower, just hover the chest above the mat, and then push mat away. Keep the elbows in really nice and close beside the body. Focus on the backs of the arms as you push mat away and lift up. Inhale to lower, exhale, weight in the heels of the hands to lift. We've got 3, and 2. Last one, we're going to come down about halfway and hold. Hold for 5, for 4, for 3, nice long neck, for 2, and for 1, push up. Nicely done. Now, from here, we're going to bring the arms back behind us. But before we do that, we just really want to make sure that we're nice and open in the chest. So we're going to draw big circles in the air with the arms, circling one back and then the other, alternating arms. Good. Get a nice opening in the chest as you bring the arm back. Let's take 3 and 2. Lengthen through those fingertips. Last 1. Circle the arm down. Bring the hands down onto the mat. From here, we're going to go into reverse tabletop. So we're going to elevate up onto the feet, keeping the elbows pulled back behind. So make sure your hands are turned towards your feet. You want to try to avoid letting the elbows splay out to the side, so keep them really pulled back behind you. We're going to lift up into our reverse tabletop. Lift and hold. We're going to hold here for 4, for 3, for 2, and for 1. Lower bum down to the mat, and then lift up again. Now this time we're going to add some leg lifts in our reverse tabletop. So we're going to lift the right leg and lower. Lift the left leg and lower. Right leg and left leg, keeping the chest nice and open. The gaze is up and ahead as we alternate sides, keeping that bum elevated to torso height. Good. We've got 3 and 2 and 1. Nice work. Lower down. Now from here, we're going to come up and add some tricep dips from that reverse tabletop position. So we're going to lift up, lift and lengthen, chest is open. We're going to lower the bum, just hover it above the mat, and then push up through the heels of the hands. Lower the bum and push up. Lower and drive up through the heels of the hands. Keep those elbows pulling back behind you as you lower and lift. Sculpting those triceps as you push up through the heels of the hands. Good work. We've got 3. Drive up. And 2. And last one, come up and hold. Step your right leg out, step your left leg out. Lift those hips, open through the chest. Then lower the bum down to the mat. Sweep your arms up and over and fold over the lower body, enjoying a nice back body stretch. Drop the crown of the head, scoop belly in. Breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth, regulating that breath. Inhale and exhale. Fold a little bit more deeply for your final breath, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Nice work. From here, we're gonna come down onto the mat and prepare for our abdominal work. So I'd like you to roll down one vertebra at a time, interlace your fingers, take them behind your head. So your head is resting heavy in your hands. From here, we're going to bring the legs into a diamond shape. So we're gonna bring the soles of the feet together. From here, I'm gonna inhale, and as I exhale, I'm gonna lift the chest up toward the ceiling and then lower. Lift up and lower down. Breathe out to lift and inhale to lower. Lift and lower. So just some very simple crunches here to start off with. I want you to really focus on connecting your lower back with the mat as you peel that upper back up off the floor. Pause for a split second. Make sure the abs are really engaged, and then lower down into neutral spine. So we lift for flat back, lower into neutral. Let's do 4. Breathe out to lift. And 3, lift a bit higher. For 2, and for 1, lift and hold. Hold here for 5, 4, 3, abs in, lift higher, 2, and 1. Amazing work. Lower down. Bring the knees together. From here, we're going to elevate the arms. Palms are facing in, hands are over shoulders, and then we're going to lift the legs into tabletop. From this position, the shins are parallel with the floor. We're going to inhale here, and as we exhale, we're going to curl and crunch up, extending the right arm, extending the right leg, and then back to tabletop. Same thing, opposite side. Good. Slice through the air with that hand. Nice strong arm. Nice long lengthened leg, pointing through the toes as you come up into that crunch, lifting head on top of the shoulders and engaging the abdominal wall down toward the floor as you do so. Good. Keep breathing. Inhale into tabletop. Exhale to extend and lengthen. We've got 4, 3, 2, good work. Last 1. Hold it here. Now we're going to move into a quick version like so. We're going to go into 20 quick. Good. Breathing deeply. That's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last 10, 9, 8, 7. Breathing belly to spine. 3, 2, 1, and hold. Bring both knees in toward the chest. Amazing work. From here, we're going to go into some leg lifts. So I'd like you to take your hands behind your head again. Legs come into tabletop. I'm going to keep the left leg bent, elevate up into a crunch so the head is resting on top of the shoulders. I'm going to extend my right leg out long and lift. Inhale to lower, exhale to lift. If it's too much with that opposite leg suspended in tabletop, I'd like you to lower it to the floor and focus on your leg lifts like so. Otherwise, left leg is bent. As we lower and lift the right leg, hinging from the hips. Nice pointed toes so that the leg muscles are engaged as we work the abs and into the thighs here too. Inhale to lower, exhale to lift. For 3, 2, last 1, lift and bend back to tabletop. Nice work. Opposite side, extend and lift that left leg. Inhale to lower, exhale to lift. Lower, abs into lift. Inhale, exhale to lift. Working those lower abs. Make sure you're not straining your neck here, and if it is, lower head, neck, and shoulders down to the floor as you work through these lifts. Point and lengthen through the toes, hinge from the hip to lower and to lift. We've got 3, 2, you've got this. Last one. And bring both knees in toward the chest. Hug those legs in, you're doing great. Take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. From here, we're gonna lower our feet down to the floor. And we're gonna take our hands on either side of our tailbone like so, creating a nice support for the lower back. Now, from here, we're gonna bring the knees in toward the chest and extend both legs out long, toes are pointed. If that's too much, you can gently bend the legs. We're gonna go into some flutter kicks here. So we're gonna lift one leg and lower the other, lift the other leg and lower. Good, so little flutter kicks in the air. I want you to really engage your core here. If it feels comfortable, lift head, neck, and shoulders up for a little bit more of an abdominal challenge. And if you really want to step it up, you can take your hands out from either side of your tailbone and support your head in your hands. Good, fluttering those legs. It can look like this if you've got that gentle bend. Good, pressing low back down onto the mat. Kicking those legs for 10, 9, 8, 7, keep breathing. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold. Extend both legs and lower. Hold for 5, 4, 3, belly to spine, 2, and 1. Amazing work. Lower legs down to the floor. Roll over onto your stomach. Take your hands on either side of your shoulders and peel yourself up into an abdominal stretch. Keep your forearms down on the floor if it's too much to come all the way up onto your hands. Melt your shoulders down away from your ears and give those abdominals a well-deserved stretch. Nicely done for 3 and 2 and 1. Good work. Lower down. Take your hands below your shoulders, coming into an all fours position, and we're going to target our glutes now. So glutes and thighs. So starting from this all fours position, we want our abdominals engaged, knees below the hips, gentle little tuck in the tailbone here so that we are not arching the low back. From here, we're going to bend the right leg, pointing the toes up toward the ceiling, and then we're going to lift that right leg and lower. So just starting off with some simple bent leg lifts. Tap the knee down to the mat and lift the toes up toward the ceiling. Now I want you to really focus on squaring your hips with the mat here. Try not to lift your leg much higher than torso height. You really want to be focusing on squeezing those right glutes as you lift that knee up toward the ceiling. So tap the knee and lift the big toe up toward the ceiling. And as you do so, engage and squeeze glutes on that right side. Good. Tap and lift. Tap and lift. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. So we're starting out slow on this right side. Good work. We've got 3, 2, and 1. Now I'd like you to hold the leg out at torso height, extend leg long. We're gonna bend, tap, lift, extend. Bend, tap, lift, extend. So we're now getting into the glutes and the hamstrings on this right side. Keeping the hips square with the mat. Now make sure you're not collapsing in the shoulders at all here. And if you are, just gently push the mat away so that you're nice and broad across those shoulders. Nice and level across the hips and level across the shoulders as well. So resisting leaning to one side. Really plug your belly in and focus on those right glutes, especially as you come into that bent lift, and then really focus on the hamstrings as you pull that heel back. Good. We've got 4 and 3. Keep these movements precise as well. So fully extend, bend, tap, and lift. Last 1 and lower. Good. So we're in that starting position. We're going to now go into some leg circles on the right side. So toe is pointed, knee is bent, and we're going to start circling that knee in the air. Focusing on those side glutes as we do so. Squeezing the bum, particularly at the top of that circle. Really using those glutes to get that knee up and around. Opening up in the hip, creating a lot of space on that right side. Good, keep circling. Abs are engaged, spine is nice and long, shoulders are broad. We've got 3, 2, and 1. I'd like you to hold that leg in the air. We're going to drop the left forearm down to the mat. Extend that right leg out long and bring the toe out so that leg is on a diagonal. You're really lengthened through the spine here. Shoulders are down away from the ears. We're going to bend that right leg, lower, lift, extend. Bend, lower, lift, extend. So similar movement to when we were on all fours, but now we're out in a diagonal. And I want you to really be squeezing that side booty as you lift, extend, bend, and lower. So throughout the whole range of movement. Notice I'm not moving quickly here. I'm making each part of the movement count by engaging those abs, engaging those glutes, and engaging those thighs. Toes stay pointed here. Full extension before bending and lowering. And maintain that diagonal with the leg. So you don't want that leg kind of traveling straight out behind you. You want to keep it out on the side. Last one. I'd like you to bend and hold, and we're going to pulse that bent leg up toward the ceiling. Pulse, 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 pulse. Squeeze the glutes. You can do it. Final push here on that right side. Give me 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. Lift the leg an inch higher. Lift, 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 and lower down. Take your hands underneath your shoulders. Step back into a plank, and then fold that right leg under the body for a pigeon pose stretch. Amazing work on that right side. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Just adding a little bit of a rotation into my pigeon pose here. You can stay facing straight ahead, or you can do the same, whatever feels good. For 3 and 2 and 1. Coming over onto the other side now. So we're starting off in our all fours position. We've got our wrists below our shoulders, our knees below our hips. Now we're bending that left knee, pointing the left toes, and lifting. So we're lifting and really activating those left bum cheeks as we bring that thigh up to torso height. Upper body is active here in a supportive stance. Good. And again, we are protecting the low back by engaging the core. and moving with absolute control here, isolating the work in those left glutes. Lifting and lowering. Good. We've got 6, 5, squeeze the bum for 4, last 3, final 2, and last 1. Hold and extend. Extend out nice and long. Square those hips with the mat if they've come open on one side. We're going to bend, tap, lift, extend. Bend, tap, lift, extend. Good. Squeezing those glutes as we do so. Good. Really focusing on the hamstrings as we bring the leg back, bring that heel back toward the bum. And then really focusing on the glutes as we lift the bent knee, bringing those toes up toward the ceiling. Super effective exercise here. Good, keep it up. Broaden those shoulders, lengthen that neck. We've got 4, 3, 2, good work. Last 1, and lower, good. Maintain that bend in the knee. We're gonna go into those hip circles. So we're gonna circle that leg up and around, drawing those nice big circles in the air, focusing on the gluteus medius doing the work to get that knee up and over. Enjoy the opening in the hip as you do so. Good. Nice long neck here. Try not to let those shoulders bunch up by the ears. And really focus on getting as much of a range of movement as you can here. That's what's really going to make the movement count. Engaging the whole way around, particularly at the top of that circle. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Hold the leg there. Drop your right forearm down to the floor. Extend the leg out. Good. Bend and lower. Lift, extend, bend, and lower. Good work. You're out on that diagonal, focusing on that side booty, doing the work, keeping that neck nice and long. Amazing. Keep breathing through it. I know this is tough. Ooh, I can just imagine how tough this would be with ankle weights right now. If you're using ankle weights, I'm impressed. Good. Even if you're not using ankle weights, it's still pretty challenging. You might be feeling some strain on your supporting side. If so, just take a moment to reset a little bit. You can readjust your balance so you're not too heavily leaned on that supporting side, and just make sure that your shoulders aren't straining here, your neck isn't straining, and you're really focusing on that lower body, that left side doing the work. Good. We've got 3 and 2. Last 1, and bend and hold. From here, we're pulsing up. Little controlled pulses on that left side, pulsing up toward the ceiling for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and hold, 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 hold for 3, 2, 1, lower down. Whew, that was tough. Let's come back into our plank. Step the left leg under the body into our pigeon pose. Feels really good to stretch out that side. You can add that rotation as well if that feels good. And that was our final exercise for today. I hope that you feel great. Feels really good to stretch at the end. We're going to do one more stretch after this. We targeted our arms, we targeted our abs, we got those glutes and thighs. You should feel very accomplished. Let's bring ourselves to a seated position. We're going to bring the soles of the feet together, and we're going to just, again, continue to open in the hips and stretch out those inner thighs. So we're going to gently draw the knees down toward the mat, press into the heels with the palms to really get yourself sitting up nice and tall. Really lengthen through the spine, melt your shoulders down away from your ears. Take a deep inhale here. And as you exhale, just hinge forward from the hips. Doesn't matter how far down you go. Just feel a nice stretch in the low back here and the inner thighs. Again, keeping the neck and shoulders relaxed. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. If you want to apply just a tiny bit of pressure to those inner thighs, you can place your hands on your knees or on the inside of your thighs. For 3 and 2 and 1, lift up, cross leg, lift your shoulders up by your ears and roll them down and back. Let's take 2 more shoulder rolls. Inhale and exhale, melt away tension. Last one, lift and melt those shoulders down and back. Amazing work, guys. Thank you so much for joining me this morning or at whatever time you're tuning in. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I look forward to working out with you again next time. Bye. See you soon.